Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1, and I'm just making a friend here real quick, but what we're going to get to in this video is talking about expeditions. I have a couple of simple tips to make that easier for you, and so that you can make sure that you're actually getting the most out of these expeditions. The first things that you're going to do are picking your teams, and you can see normally I'm using this male Elzadeth on my primary team. However, when I'm doing this particular mode, I'm going to put my female Trevain because she happens to be the best DPS character for the final challenge at the end of these expeditions because she's so good at boss damage. She has an effect that does a % of the boss's health and damage, and so there is not another character that even comes close to the amount of damage that she can do, but we don't get to actually position our characters when it comes time to do the fight. They're going to be based on where we put them in this order. It doesn't matter all that much, but I actually want to have my Lionstone in slot 3 and my Ignis in the back, so I'll put her in the 3rd, her in the 4th, and that should work out just fine for us. A lot of people try to make several teams that are all relatively the same level. I am personally not a fan of doing that system. I think that you're going to be losing out on your main team too much, at least if you have the same problems that I have. And the problem that I have been consistently having is getting Ascension materials. So I have some now that I could be working with, but my tank slots I've been saving up for over a week just to have what I have here, and I will probably be able to do exactly one Ascension on my good female Lionstone with all of the stuff that I've saved up for an entire week. So unless you're buying stones and summoning a lot of people, or buying bouquets and producing a lot of your own people, I don't see how it's possibly worth it to ascend these other teams, because even in the Valley of Conquerors, it would be nice for me to have 3 teams that are really solid, but it's not going to make or break my rewards that much. I just don't think that it's worth it. I think it's better to have your one team be super strong so that you can make it farther in things like the campaign, and so that you can actually take the important nodes in places like Valley of Conquerors. If I was spreading out my Ascension materials across all of these teams, I wouldn't be able to compete in Valley of Conquerors. I would be too far behind. Maybe that's because I'm a free-to-play account, and so I have to sacrifice a little bit and have one team that's much better. But that's just my view on the situation. I'm currently being extremely held back by those Ascension materials. So the extra rewards that I might get from the expeditions, from doing really good on the boss rushes, or maybe the extra damage in the raids in the guild, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. It's not the way that I would suggest to go. I know there's a lot of people who are actually very passionate about having many teams and how great that is for you. I would love to hear your reasons for that, and you will probably change my mind if you have good reasons for it, and maybe you'll change the way that I'm playing the game and the suggestions that I'm making to people. So you can see we also have timers here above all of our little nodes that we have started, and we need to come back and check on these when those 10-minute timers have exhausted themselves, and then we get to select a new reward. Congratulations, you have slowly drifted into insanity as you sat waiting 10 entire minutes to be able to proceed with your expedition. And while you were doing that, you noticed a little Easter egg down here. Look at that, that looks like a certain tower from a trilogy of movies that you may have seen in the early 2000s. Based on a book written by a man called J.R.R. Tolkien. Is this ringing any bells for you? Huh? I know, that was a terrible pun. You'll have to forgive me, it's just a bad habit I have. When we see our check marks above each of our areas, we're gonna go ahead and click on them. That's all you gotta do, and you claim your rewards. Now when we get to this screen, that's when you have your important decisions to make. If you ask me, almost exclusively you want to go for books. That's just what I believe. I have been doing that since the beginning, and I still don't have enough books. I do this every single day, and I just can't get enough books. So that's what I do. Now, charm is also important, so when there's an event going on where it's a charm challenge, I will switch to getting charm for the duration of that, but that might not even be worth it. I'm not sure. Haven't run the numbers past my accountant yet. So this time we're going for books. And you'll notice at the very top here, it's going to say 1 of 4. And then we'll click on our next one, and now it says 2 of 4. And you sort of have to wonder, are we simply going around to all of the places where we make friends and pillaging their homelands? Because it feels a little bit like pillaging to me. Now, the one exception to always getting books is, of course, always getting diamonds, because why would you not? You're basically paying yourself real currency for playing the game every time you find a way to get yourself some more diamonds, so we're always going to take those. Oh, look at that, we got another one. Incredible. Now you have to fill 10 more minutes. And while we're filling that time, I just want to thank everybody who has liked and subscribed and re-rolled on my server so that we could be in a guild together. Information on how to do that in the description below. And if you're new here, then I would invite you to like and subscribe today so that you can be part of the party. So far, I have been posting videos every single day, and I plan to continue doing that, although I am not going to sign a contract that forces my hand. I gotta say, I understand the need for these timers and how it functions with the gameplay, but man, do I forget consistently that I started these, and then every now and then I don't get to finish them for the day because of my own negligence. And again, more of the same. And since we are on stage 4 of 4, when this one is completed and we claim our rewards, we're gonna have a new and exciting step that, spoiler alert, also requires waiting 4 minutes at a time. I should have maybe paid more attention and counted the amount of diamonds that I actually got here. If you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you could go back and check it yourself, but I would say it's safe to assume that daily you can get 60 to 100 gems this way. If you're really lucky, it might be even more than that. After we claim our rewards, we can back out and skip the fight, which I think is what a lot of people do, because the fights honestly are kind of annoying, but what you actually want to do is you want to challenge the boss. The other thing that you can do to increase your damage against these kinds of enemies is that you can use things that do true damage. The male Strixbane is one of those people, or anything that eliminates or bypasses the fortitude of the enemy. They do tend to have higher fortitude from what I understand, although I am getting that information from somebody on the internet, so you can take that for what it's worth. You definitely do want to wait through these things because it is pretty easy to get over 100 diamonds every single day just by doing this every single day, and that is aside from the rewards of doing the actual expeditions. There is a leaderboard that takes place judging the amount of damage that you've actually done to these bosses, and as far as I can tell, a lot of people just skip doing it because it's really easy to find yourself in the top 5 on that list. Of course, now I'm realizing for all of the people that re-rolled onto my server and actually watch my content, if you start doing this, I probably will get less diamonds because you'll be getting them. And for the rest of my teams, I basically picked people that happen to be leveled up already because they are in my districts, and I tend to keep those people between level 120 and 160. Wow, you are a monster. You raided the villages of everyone you know and love, and you killed their giant people that just were minding their own business, not hurting anyone. I hope you feel proud of yourself, and I hope the diamonds were worth it. But that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. I have been RagePanda1, and I will see you in the next one.